we did a lot of camps where we just spent hours just like doing free throws in our brain. You know, like, and a lot of pro athletes still do that. I mean, they do that too. It's like the same thing. You don't know whether you don't know, your mind doesn't know the difference between you actually like physically making that shot or your mind making that shot.
There's actually a movie that Robert and Rachel recommend too. It's called Somewhere in Time, and it has Christopher Reeve. He said the storyline is exactly explaining how the law of attraction works. That's an older movie.
My movie's been dead for a long time.
What's the name of it again?
Somewhere in Time?
Somewhere in Time with Christopher Reeve.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so I'm going to take you guys through, well, did you have anything you'd like to add either about that? Okay. So I'm going to take you guys through, like he said, first it's really about like getting into the emotion and like knowing what it is that you want. A lot of times when people say, oh, go do a dream board, you know, you sit down and you're like, okay, I just cut out a lot of things. I know I want money, I want whatever, but like really getting clear on what your goals are before you actually go about creating the board. And there's lots of different ways. You know, there's no right or wrong way to actually do the dream boarding, but tonight what we're gonna do is first talk about like goal setting. I'd like to hear from you guys kind of any of your methods for goal setting that you use. Do you typically goal set far out? Do you goal set, a week out, a month out, 5 years out, kind of just how many, or let's say this, how many of you goal set? Let's try it. Okay, how many of you write down your goals? How many of you read your goals on a regular basis? Awesome.
It's on a
Yeah, okay, cool.
Can
So,
we say if it's new? For me, it's new.
it's okay if it's new.
It's new. I haven't done this really in the past because I always had this perception of if I set the goal and I don't make it, I fail. So for me, setting goals is really new. But the reason why I started setting it when I work in your office. That was the first time I wrote it down because I realized if I put the goal up there and I don't reach it during that time frame, just move it forward.
Yeah.
So for me, setting the goal and writing it down is really new, and it's because of these women. So,
I had a friend when I was talking about goals this year, and he was saying, don't make goals, just make new habits. So change your habits. Don't say you want to lose weight. Change your habits and eat more vegetables, eat more fruits. Don't
Make your
eat as
goal to
meat.
eat more vegetables and naturally you'll reach that goal. Is that the
Well,
mindset?
just change your habits. Don't even try, because like she was saying, you make a goal and you don't reach it, you feel like you failed. Well, just change your habits.
Yeah. Well, I think just the major point there really is just that we all operate differently. But all of us kind of have our own idiosyncrasies or like nuances, so don't feel like you have, I think that's also another thing, like don't shame yourself if you can't do it the way other people do it. You know, do what works for you. Set yourself up for success, you know, not failure, just like what he's saying. If you don't believe that you're gonna achieve it, then don't do it, because that's just like, yeah, you know, not to say like I just had this with my friend the other day. He said he wants to make $5 million. My goal was like, I want to make $125,000. And he was like, oh, maybe that's too big. And I was like, hey, if you believe it, then go ahead. And also just, that's a big gender gap too right there. Is like a lot of times men, they're not afraid to like just say, yeah, I'm going to go for it, you know, and they really believe they can get it. Whereas as women, we tend to be a little bit like
Cautious.
What's that word? Humility, humble, yeah. Humble and like, you know, and maybe like just tend to downplay, and they, you know, there's all sorts of other topics that can go from that. That doesn't mean that's true, but it's just how we tend to do it. So ladies, I really encourage you to like pick a goal and like actually try to believe that big goal, because another thing that happens when you set goals that are bigger than you can believe is you almost let go of control of it, which actually kind of then counteracts what he was saying. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to share, two things. One is that a lot of goals that I have set for myself have come true. And some of them I remember being so focused for so long, and others not so much, like I let it go, like they said. But just want to share, I always told myself that I was going to buy my house when I was 30. Well, I bought my house when I was 40. But what I also have learned is that some things that I want come at when I'm ready for them.
Mhm.
So I was not ready at 30. I was ready at 40. Number one. And number two, the last thing is that for me, achieving my goals goes hand in hand with how much I know me. So the more work I do myself, the more I get to know me, the more I'm gentle with me, I'm forgiving, blah, 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 the more I get to achieve them and actually appreciate them. So it's not so much, because maybe if I had gotten the house at 30, I would not have appreciated it as much as I did when I got it. So I just wanted to share that for me, my prosperity goes hand in hand with my getting to know me, getting to appreciate me, and getting to love me at the moment. So I seen it, over and over, and I really like it.
Yeah. Awesome, thank you for sharing.
Yeah, I think one of the techniques that I realized a number of years ago was just that in looking at what I've already manifested and focus on my successes over life, because a lot of times we're like, oh, we didn't do that, or we couldn't do that, and just as human nature, we look at the negative or the scarcity models of it, and that in any manifestation, once I believe that I'm a good manifester, like then it's just really easy.
Yeah.
Because then it's like, oh look, I got that, and I did this, and I moved to California, and I whatever. And so I started actually going through in my life and looking at my manifestation successes, and it became a really long list. I mean, it's like, oh, I forgot about that, or oh, look what I did. And literally in my life is something I manifested, whether it's my car or my place I live or my job. So it is all abundance. And so in that frame, I all of a sudden realized, man, I'm a pretty damn good. So then it becomes easier. Like, oh, I can do that. Oh, I can do that. Oh, I
Yeah.
can get that.
You let go of resistance, and that's funny because people have been starting to tell me that a lot too. Because I talk about a lot of my manifestation, so I've heard it so much like, "Oh, you're a really good manifester," blah blah. So here's a story of kind of my friend texted me one day. She was like, Lauren, I need you to manifest me a car." And I was like, yes, I sent it back to her. And like, she sent a message right back. She's like, oh my God, you're good. My friend just texted me and told me I could use her car, and I didn't send anything out to her. So really what I think happened, she manifested it, but she let go of control thinking that it was me that manifested it. So it was like, again, just like letting go of that control. Yeah,
But she believed that you could.
right.
That's
She was
the
believing
key.
that, she
It's
let go
the
of her
placebo
resistance.
effect.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because when you believe somebody else or the vision board or whatever it is gonna work, the magic whiteboard, the people thought that the magic whiteboard was magic. So they believed it versus, well, my magic don't work, but this guy's magic is bomb, so I'll go write it on his shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And it's right in alignment with so many things. I mean, religion, praying, that's like all about manifesting if you really think about it. The energy, collective energy, etc. So one exercise to get you guys started on your dream board is I want you to we're gonna take about 5 to 10 minutes. And what I'd like you all to do is to write in your little booklets or on that sheet of paper, whichever you want, your perfect day. So think about it. You should put like maybe a date on that, but like what is your perfect day at work and or play, whichever, like your perfect day. And start with, I wake up in the morning, I'm in pink sheets, I look over at my mate,
We're in
I-
Miami or something?
and so whatever it is, like get down to the very detail and go morning to night on your perfect day. And
Okay.
just like, as for what Robert said, just start to really like get yourself into that moment and to actually really like be in the motions of it. So we'll just